absolute insanity that the police told me yesterday. Let me catch you up. I got a crazy guy that hasn't paid any rent in probably 2 years, that's been just causing chaos to other tenants, to the neighborhood, and he's untouchable. He's been not held accountable for absolutely anything he does. He just does whatever he wants to do, and nothing can be done. Yet again, here's another example. He causes a leak, leaks into a children's room, 3-year-old girl and a preteen girl. Got water leaking in their bed, mold forming. This is a health hazard. And I'm not being allowed to do the repairs. No valid reason. Anytime you're trying to come to do repairs, not me, I send people. It's always a different excuse. You tell him ahead of time, he lies and says that you didn't. And besides, it's an emergency. Why do you need notice for the emergency? Hey, the building's on fire, we need to come and take it out. You guys need to let me know ahead of time, man. But the craziest thing is what the cop said. So this guy refused. Fire department, police department, and again the police department came. We actually had to forcefully open this guy's door with a locksmith because he was just not, it's just 4 or 5 days after the leak and still can't get in there. No valid reason given, right? The police were there to protect my rights. I have a right to do repairs on my property, especially in an emergency. That is the law, right? This guy is impeding my rights. He's stopping me from being able to do the repairs, which is the law. So you bring law enforcement to enforce the law. And they were going to, I believe, they threatened to arrest and all this kind of stuff. And like, listen, you need to calm down, blah, blah, blah. Very professional. But then he started talking a bunch of lawsuit this, blah, 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 and my wife this, and if somebody gets sick, da-da-da-da. So they called the sergeant, due diligence. They want to make sure they're covered. They're ready to go in, man. They were sick and tired of this guy, too. The whole neighborhood is sick and tired of these guys, right? Sergeant shuts the whole thing down, right? Said they're going to just do a police report. Talking about it's a landlord-tenant matter. I guess the law doesn't apply when it's a landlord-tenant matter, right? But here's the crazy thing. I said to them, hey, but what about the children? Right? What about the children? Do you care? Is anybody gonna protect these kids? I'm trying to. You're getting in the way. He's getting in the way. You're not allowing me to. Well, not allowing me to. They didn't stop me. They just not providing support. We could have went in at the risk of that guy doing something crazy. Cop says, so when I bring up the kids again, I'm like, hey man, you guys are just gonna leave? Like, how does that make sense? He says, nobody's holding them in there. They can go somewhere else. We got a poor family low-income family. Husband works hard, pays his rent. Now he's got a guy that's freeloading above, not paying a dime, causing damage to his kid's bedroom. Also, he's got a lot of mice in there being caused by the same guy with his trash above, right? So this guy's impeding on his right to have a safe place to live, not have mice everywhere, not have water dripping on the ceiling, impeding on my right to repair. Police won't enforce it, and then they suggest that the family, they go somewhere else. Everybody's subservient to the freeloader. I didn't even think about how insane that statement was until after the fact. The idea, the suggestion that the family, you guys move. Not the guy who's freeloading and causing all this chaos, and the one who caused the leak in the first place. We don't want to inconvenience him. And then this idea that they, what if they go in and somebody hey man, that's a situation all the time with law enforcement, right? What if somebody's speeding and you pull them over and they got a mentally ill family member in the car? Do you not give the ticket? Like if they're going fast enough, you got to do an arrest. Maybe there's an arrest warrant. Do you not arrest them because what if they fight and then the disabled person gets hit or something? When does that make sense? When does an officer go to a house for a warrant to arrest someone, right? Open warrant, they go to arrest someone, and then the person comes to the door. You can't come in. My sister, she's sick and she's got disabilities, man. And if she passes out, I'm gonna sue you. When does that work? When do the police say, okay, man, we're just gonna make a report that we came to arrest you and you're refusing to come out. We're not gonna come in because you got somebody that's vulnerable. It's like they talk about this family separation stuff, kind of on a different topic, but not really, right? Family separation, separating the family from the kids. And it's like, look, man, you're a single father living with your child. You go and you rob a bank. Listen, man, when they come, they're not gonna not arrest you because you are the only one to take care of the kid. Like, man, I'm a father. I got my young daughter here. She's only 3. She's only 3, man. You can't just say, no, man. They're gonna call protective services and they're gonna handle that. You're going to jail, right? You're going to jail. Since when do police take decisions in terms of when they're gonna enforce the laws based on when it's safe? Because that's the other thing you brought up. They don't want to go in. They don't want to. They don't want to provide support to the workers to do their job because it's a risk to the officers, and then finally they stuck on the end to the rest of us too, because he's acting combative or whatever. So if they go in, he might do something crazy. Next thing you know, shots fired. It's creating a dangerous situation. So because of it's too dangerous, police officers don't want to create a situation where somebody might get hurt. So based on that, we're going to allow this person to continue breaking the law, right? We're going to allow these children to be still in a situation where they're vulnerable, right? Water dripping down in the bed, all this kind of craziness. Because we don't want one of our officers to get hurt. And you know what? The family, they should move, right? The father working so hard every day. He's got weird shifts, working late at night, trying to provide for the family, doing the right thing. Now he got mice all over the place. He's got water dripping down, all because of this dude. And they should move. The family should move, right? Oh, this guy is doing all this craziness. Let's not hold him accountable. Let's tell everybody else to move out of his way. Because supposedly they're vulnerable. He's got some mental issues, whatever. And because of that, I mean, think about a situation. I hate to be compared him to a child, even though he behaves like a child. Think about a situation with a child where the child is doing all kinds of craziness, right? But they're a child. They don't know any better. So because they don't know any better, we just let them do it. Right? They're messing with people. They go in the highway and they're throwing stuff at people. And no one will do anything because it's a child. It's a child. They don't know any better. The parent goes and says, "Stop it, Johnny. Don't do that." And it's like, no, don't yell at the child. You might traumatize them or something. They're children. Let them. Those cars, they should see that the child is throwing stuff and not drive on this particular road. They don't have to be there. Let the cars move. Don't mess with the child. Let the people that are being harassed or put in danger, let them move. That's the logic. Let's not address the person creating the chaos and violating other people's rights. Let's tell everybody else to move. You know, if you're a vulnerable person, whatever it is, you got some mental illness or whatever, you do need special protections, more so than other people, certain accommodations. But I think there's a very important phrase to consider. Within reason. Within reason. This is not reasonable. This is chaos. This is anarchy. That's what this is. Tell the family to move. The family that ain't really making money like that, they should move. The evil landlord has been neutered. They cut all my claws, the American progressives. I can't do nothing to protect my tenant. I got all this craziness going on, trash everywhere, this guy acting up, water leaking, whatever. And progressive policies paint me as the evil person and have completely neutered me to where I'm useless. I can only do stuff when no one gets in my way. But if someone gets in my way, there's nothing I could do. If I got a tenant acting up, nothing I could do, and nothing anybody else will do about it. I can't protect my tenants. All I can do is the easy. Right? When I say easy, I mean in terms of without obstruction. Right? If no one obstructs, I can do my thing, man. But I am at the mercy of tenants. Like, for example, these guys aren't even paying. They don't, so you don't have to pay me any money for my labor, right? And it's a double labor, right? I work very hard to be able to pay the mortgage for the house that you're living in, right? I work a lot of hours under a lot of pressure, and plus it took me years and years, decades, to save up the money to buy the house in the first place. And I'm working labor to pay the mortgage and maintenance on the house, plus the labor on repairing stuff. Like last night at 7 p.m., while most people are hanging out at home, I'm repairing the ceiling, because that's what I'm paid to do, right? But I have no power, no authority. And worse than that, because it's one thing if they take away, don't give the landlord any power, he might abuse it. Okay. Then you do the job. I don't want to be an enforcer. That's not what I signed up for. So I'd rather not have to do that either. So you guys do it. Cops, come in. This guy's acting crazy. Handle that. Take care of it. Right? Take care of it so that I can do my thing, right? But they're not doing it. I'm not empowered to do anything, and nobody else is doing anything. So we just have anarchy. But the family should move, though. That makes sense. And 98% of progressives will never hear this. Will never know that this is happening. The media they listen to are actively refusing to talk about these things. It goes against the narrative. The Trump indictments, right-wing media, staying far away from talking about the details of the case. Inconvenient to the narrative. Inconvenient to the progressive narrative is the anarchy caused by the policies they advocate for, unseriously. The family should move, though.